Canada. So they went over and told all the folks with the drums, cheer for Canada. So they were cheering for Canada the rest of the day. It was exciting.
Yeah, one thing about Grace Boulin, she always comes out so quick, and she just scores points in the first period like no other, but she stays aggressive, and sometimes it cost her. We saw it last year on a couple of occasions, and today again.
Right, and if she's not going to get that fall, she still makes some mistakes in positions.
We're underway here in the semifinal at 59. Dudova of Bulgaria. Sarita in India trying to go 2 for 2 early on in this semifinal stage. Dudova is a 4-time European champion. She was a world silver medalist in 2018 in Budapest. But she did not make the Bulgarian Olympic team this year in this cycle. Evelina Nikolova qualified. Earned the bronze medal at Tokyo, so that was somewhat of a surprise. And Dudova, who has really been consistent throughout her years wearing the Bulgarian singlet. But it is a weight that has a ton of depth for the nation, and opportunity to shine here at the Worlds, missing out on a chance to wrestle for her country at the Olympic Games.
And lots of tradition with Bulgaria, as you had the Jordanovs and some of the long-time athletes for Bulgaria.
Action blue.
So you heard the officials say action blue. They're going to have the first passivity warning, and actually the second. So we're on the activity clock today. We talked to the officials today. They were saying, remember, it's not shot or who's shooting more. We're not counting shots, but it's who's not scoring and who's not being as active as the other. And we saw that last night. And really, we discussed it. I mean, Sajalayev was doing the majority of the action in the match with Snyder.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of the discussion popped up last night. The officials bringing it to the forefront, explaining why it happened the way it did.
It doesn't have to be reciprocity. You don't have to say, I get a call, you get a call. If the officials deem it that one athlete is being more active, then they're gonna continue to make those activity periods.
Continue to reward them. 1-0, the activity clock expires here, so a 1-0 lead for Dudova. Sarita has slowed the pace down to her liking. The way Dudova took off in her wins today, she had put her opponents away quite early. So Sarita does have this in her tempo for India. She's already picked up one finalist earlier tonight, trying for number 2 here.
And this pace definitely benefits Sarita, because Dudova is another one of these athletes. When she gets on top, she is so tough in that parterre position with her gut wrench and her leg laces. So Sarita's got to be really careful, and she's doing a nice job of keeping her motion as she's going in and out and using her hands to pull on Dudova.
And she won't let Dudova get a hold of her arm. Looked like she wanted to try to grab that 2-on-1 and set some things up. So a really good first period for Sarita of India. She trails just 1-0. Dudova, who had a tough World Championships in 2019, she placed 12th, but has battled back. And again, we talked about her success consistently throughout the years. Well, for Sarita, the 2-time Asian champion, here in 2021, she was able to bag a silver medal at the Mateo. And like Dudova, she did not make the trip to Tokyo. This is not an Olympic weight. India already had a qualifier with the 19-year-old Anshu at 57 kilos, so there's simply no spot for Sarita to go.
Right, and when you go from 10 weights to 6 weights, that can be really difficult because who goes down, who goes up. Sarita didn't have a spot, but that's why the World Championships are so great, because we have those extra weights to get the other athletes in. And, you know, when women's wrestling started, men had 8 weights and women had 4, and then they went 10 and 10, which is great for equity of the sport and to get more involvement for our women.
This score surprises me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. I thought we might have a few more points. Now we're getting some action. Arm throw attempt by Dudova. Still has that arm trap. Let's see what Sarita does to get out of harm's way. Dudova just keeps coming at her. SARITA hanging on to the head. It's a tough position for her underneath. Squeezing tighter and tighter Dudova. Question is, can she free up her head?
She's going to try and get the knee down of SARITA, but SARITA reaching back, and it's something we teach our little kids all the time, don't reach back. But in this situation, she reached and got enough maybe to cut the wind off of her a little bit. But a 2-point takedown for Dudova, and this is where she's dangerous. At least she was all morning.
Yeah, from this parterre position, a 3-0 lead. Dudova did not have a lot of room to work, so they will go back into the center on their feet. SARITA able to have good defense underneath. But for the first time, some offense. Dudova with the 2, and now SARITA with 1:45 to go. Takes a look at the clock as she will start to go to work offensively. Oh boy, they just smashed forehead to forehead there as they both leaned in at the same time.
And you watch SARITA really swing her hips to the outside and look to set up an attack, but I'm surprised she didn't go in an attack there, especially after they hit heads. Maybe she needed to ground herself a little bit and stop those stars from flying in her head.
Snap down by SARITA, tried to slide to the outside. Some more activity with her hands from India. She's picked it up a little bit.
She's working Dudova to the edge as well. Maybe looking for a step out or a caution point as she looks to force Dudova to the edge. Dudova does a great job to walk herself back to the center and control that elbow tie and wrist tie. So the official telling Dudova, hey, we're not just going to hold on here, let's be active. But she's going to hold on as long as she can at 3-0 and control a tie, because SARITA really hasn't had a true attack or a true shot to this point. She's done some fakes, but no real risk.
Really good work by Dudova, operating with a lead. 20 seconds and counting. Final period. Bulgaria trying to get back into the finals. There's a low shot by SARITA. Good job sprawling back. Dudova knows she's in a pretty good position here. Clock will continue to tickle down, and it will be the Bulgarian back into the World Finals. The silver medalist from 3 years ago in Budapest, and she is back. Bulgaria and Biljana Dudova, 3-0 win.
Puts her thumbs up, then puts her thumbs down, showing the country of Bulgaria and that name Dudova on her back. She's happy, looking to be on the top of the podium tomorrow evening.